Bay. I'm in Casco Bay, right there. There we go. This boat is Kaos on starboard tack. This boat is Keemah. I am driving the mighty Keemah on port tack. This boat has the right of way, but believe it or not, we crossed them. It was close. That's what's called crossing tacks. And I had the pleasure of crossing tacks. Oh, no audio? Golly. Let me check. Somebody in the chat, let me know. Settings. My goodness. Okay. Metabun says audio fine here. Mark Short, welcome. Pragmatic Crystal, welcome. My thing here says I've got audio, so I don't know. Very strange. Purple, great to see you. What the Beck? Nice to see you as well. Lena, always good to see you. So anyway, back to the thing, a little bit of sailing before we get going. This is what's called crossing tacks. And this was a particularly fun race for me. It was more than a decade ago. But it was the black boat was our arch rival in the series for many years. And we managed to beat him that day. It was a good day. So anyway, I had the pleasure of crossing tacks with Pinecreek Doug yesterday. Went into his chat. He was reviewing a whole bunch of stuff from J.K. Rowling, our friend, beautiful J.K. Rowling, who doesn't much care for trans folk for whatever reasons. And I didn't catch that part of the video, but his video, but he was talking with a trans girl just 6 months in, hadn't started hormones. She was on with her mom in the background, which was really kind of funny. So I hopped into the chat and said, "Hey, Doug, give me a shot." And we had a pretty good conversation, I think. I'm under no illusions as to Doug's feeling towards, pardon me, I'm going to get a little more comfortable. I have no illusions as towards Doug's feelings towards trans people. I hope I'm pretty enough, by the way, Doug, if you're watching, I hope I'm pretty enough. If you happen to catch this up, because I do recall a conversation you had with, it was King Xerxes, wherein the two of you agreed that trans people would be better off if we had prettier spokespeople. Well, you know, that's kind of a thing. You're a woman, you get judged on your looks, and you're a woman, you get to be 69 like I am. It's like they're hard to keep up, but I do my best. So anyway, old Doug, we had a conversation that went into a whole bunch of stuff, like what's a boy, what's a girl, and that's a hard thing for a person who is a trans kid to answer. I mean, colloquially and for society at large, those are easy questions to answer. But if you are trans and you're a kid and you really don't know, but you have this internal feeling, that can be hard to answer. My little 3.5-year-old kid inside my head still has problems answering that. That was a pretty interesting part of the conversation, because I was trying to sort of explain how that all works from the perspective of a trans life experience. But anyway, we got around to discussing something I did make the topic of discussion in an earlier video I posted on this channel about quality of studies and how do you study this issue medically, scientifically, etc., and what qualifies as good evidence. And one of the issues was, what metric do you use? If you insist on having, by the way, I'm spilling the tea here. I'm hoping not to spill the tea. If you rely on your metric being a double-blind clinical trial with a double-blinded control group, you just can't do that ethically. I covered all of those issues pretty well, I think, in this in a video entitled what was it? People Aren't Particles. You know, it's not astrophysics. It's medicine. But we got into the, we got into, like, what is the metric? What would be a study that would show a difference? And let's see, I'll go ahead and share this. I think we'll make me little and the screen big. So I'll do that picture-in-picture layout. Yeah, we go. Do that, do present. See, I'm beginning to catch on to this bullshit. Oh, has it been a minute or two or 5 or however many minutes it takes the algorithm to let you swear? I'm a sailor, I do that a lot. Anyway, let's just pop this up here. Oh. So I'm just going to run down the last few minutes of the interview. This is where the discussion starts, and hopefully, oh boy, I'm not even listening to myself. Probably ought to, so I can hear what's going on. My God. Unprofessional, unprepared. Just a freaking mess. But, there. Maybe I can hear myself. We'll see. If I can't, I'll scream. Okay. Y'all got it? I guess I can go ahead and start the video about this issue. The metric that people want to insist on is a double-blind study, which you can't do.
No, the metric I would think would be the best one is suicide rates, because that's pretty clear. And so if you have 1,000 transgender people before transitioning, we know the suicide rate is X, actual suicides. And then after transitioning, out of 1,000 actual transitioning, the suicide rate is Y, and then compare the two numbers. And I'm saying that data is not out there, unless someone can show me.
Suicide rate. I'd say that data is not out there. Let's see. She says, knowingly.
Actual suicide, not ideation, not attempts, actual suicides. And I think most people out there don't realize that data is not out there. There's some studies I've seen in...
that data is not out there. Okay. Yeah. We'll go to Dr. Google. I don't know.
And if it's based on well-being, I mean, to me, that's so fuzzy, because, of course, if someone wants, let's say, breast implants, and you give them breast implants, they're going to feel good, at least for a while.
Out of 5,107 trans women, median age at first visit 28 years, median follow-up time 10 years, and 3,156 trans men, median age at first visit 20 years, median follow-up time 5 years, 41 trans women and 8 trans men died by suicide. In trans women, suicide deaths decreased over time, while it did not change in trans men.
That's the exact opposite of the other study I just saw.
This is trends in suicide death risk in transgender people, results from the Amsterdam cohort of gender dysphoria study.
Were you here about an hour ago? We went through the same study. Go to the conclusion at the bottom.
Wait. Were you here about an hour ago? No, I wasn't. I had no idea. I was pulling this out of my, out of Dr. Google, like I said. It's like, and the data's not out there. But Doug cited the data an hour ago. I'm confused.
We just went through this about an hour ago.
We observed no increase in suicide death risk over time, and even a decrease in suicide death risk in trans women, or the suicide risk in transgender people is higher than in the general population, and seems to occur during every stage of transitioning. It is important to have specific attention to suicide risk in the counseling of this population and in providing suicide prevention programs. Seems fair, but I suppose, what is transition? Am I still transitioning? I don't think so. I think I'm kind of past that.
Yeah. But would you admit
where do you draw the line? It's like, I would say 10 years is probably good enough, because it takes a while to, if you do transition, whatever time you decide to transition, it lasts as long as puberty does. So I'd say about 4 years. To go from when you start to when you have acquired the physicality of the target gender, medically anyway. And of course, if there are surgical interventions, that too.
Yeah, I think this study you did the trans and suicide death in transgender people results from Amsterdam. That's the one you had, right? 1972 to 2017.
Yep.
Yeah, this has nothing to do. Oh no, it does have something to do with transition.
Yeah, it does. Oh, this has nothing to do with transition. It's in the title, Doug. It's in the first paragraph, Doug. You cited it, Doug. You said it had you had the exact opposite conclusions, Doug. What are you talking about, Doug? Doug, the fuck? I mean, seriously, this is one of the issues I have in dealing with very serious people. They're not. They have an agenda. They want to get their point across. I mean, Christ, I have an agenda too, but it's not really that much of an agenda. My agenda is mostly to be to live my life without fear that my government's going to come after me for who I am, how I live my life as a human being, assuming I just simply want to exist in society. I'd like the what's that great American word? That great conservative word? That great word that Patrick Henry used? I think it was liberty. I prefer liberty to a sort of death of the soul that some people would impose upon me. Some people might, some people. Oh, the people of Missouri, the people of Arkansas, the people of Texas, the people of Florida, the people of Kansas, the people of Utah, the people of Idaho, those people. Anyway, remember this is the metric. This would be a good metric, according to Doug, as to how trans people's lives are improved over time by transition. In the earlier part of the conversation, I was basically saying it takes dysphoria. Transition takes dysphoria off the table. It's not a panacea. Transitioning is not a panacea for anybody's life. It can't be. It's only one element. And it's an element that most people don't experience in their lives. And so, I don't know. My phone's going off for some reason. So if you can eliminate that from as a source of anguish, anxiety, and difficulty, that's probably a good thing, right? Don't you think so? Even Doug agrees that, yeah, you want to reduce pain. But anyway, I'll keep on rolling the clip.
Over time, stage.
I just read it.
Yeah. So basically, the conclusion is that transitioning.
The mean number of suicides in the years 2013 to 2017 was higher in the trans population compared with the Dutch population.
No, but at the conclusion, they're saying that we observed no increase in suicide death risk over time, and even a decrease in suicide death risk in trans women.
Right.
So they're saying.
Right. So no increase in suicide risk over time. And in fact, there was a decrease in risk over time, especially for trans women. So I don't know, is that good or bad? So there's a decrease. So some people benefited, obviously. It's their conclusion.
Yeah. Some people benefited. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is it doesn't get worse.
It doesn't get worse.
It gets better. So
unless you detransition.
That's not covered by the study at all.
I know.
So you can't, it's mixing.
Someone just posted that 1% of people regret transition.
That's in line. I've heard 2%, more like 2%. And surgeries is another thing. And there was somebody in the chat earlier basically saying, well, it's a sunk cost fallacy, but I don't believe that's true. I don't see that as being true.
Okay, well, I'm getting really hungry and I've been going close to 6 hours.
Yep. Well, I haven't, but and I just ate. But your house, your stream. I wish you a good day, and it's nice talk. And if you decide to call Tacks again, Doug, call early.
I don't want to call using my phone, and if you can't call early on the web, I know you.
I did that just for you, Cookies.
You don't have to. You can use the web, but you cannot enter the queue using the web stream unless until they start. They have to start the show in order to get on.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So basically, they have to put me on the top of the list and treat me special or not, or I don't talk.
That ain't happening. Did you try? I can assure you that ain't happening.
Yeah, last time I used the web, and then I think you or a different mod said I'm not in the queue, but I was in the queue. I showed it on live stream. I showed proof I'm there. Well,
I don't know. Just try getting in earlier. I if you can. I have no real workarounds for that. At least I can make inquiries along those lines, and I can get back to you. But
because my fear is like if I phone in with my real phone, I don't want my real number out there. But I guess I can block it. How do you block it?
I don't know. You're a clever guy. You could probably figure something out, right?
Yeah, I should be able to block it. But then another problem is I prefer the web over phone is because if I'll probably do it while I'm live streaming. And then if you do it on the phone, you got that, like, phone up to the mic. I don't want to do that. I want to have it go through my computer system so that everybody can hear clearly.
Yeah.
But anyhow, thanks for coming on. I'm going to go ahead.
All right. Okay, so you want to poach Jimmy's content.
Take care.
See you later. Bye.
Is this a new record?
Anyway, yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that sure was fun. Oh, Cookies, he doesn't want to use the phone because that way it's not as easy to take the audio and put it into his stream. That's why. So, answers that question. I don't have too much more to say about this. There are links in the chat, or rather, not in the chat, but in the description of the sources, the link to the full video, well, the link to that clip from the video, which points to the video itself, and various other sorts of things, including the credit for to Billy Bragg for this beautiful photograph of Anthem and Kaos and Keemah crossing tacks back in the day, which I'm going to share yet again because this is what I really like to talk about and really like to do. I mean, this is what I'd be doing were it not for the fact that folks like Doug want to turn trans people's lives into some sort of hysteria that they are unwilling to actually learn about or take an interest in. Except, of course, in regards trans women who have to be pretty enough. But that's kind of, I suspect, the case for all women from Doug's point of view. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming. I just passed 100 subbies today on my channel. And, I've had this channel for a very, very long time. I haven't really started doing anything on it until quite recently. Oh golly, I think the first video I posted was my little sermon at the United Methodist Church in South Portland that I gave on Trans Day of Remembrance, and I've been kind of going since then. So it's not, haven't been doing, I started out slow since October, but I've been getting a little bit more active recently, and I really appreciate all the support. I put a link in the description to my Patreon. I'd like to be able to pay the goddamn internet bill because it's getting ridiculous as well. So if anybody feels like kicking in a few bucks, keep me in tea from time to time. But I really want to thank everybody who has subscribed so far. It got me to 100. Tell other people I'd like to grow the channel some if you enjoy the content, and I'll try to do more of that stuff, that sailing stuff, which is a way shit ton more fun than dealing with douche canoes. So have a great evening. Appreciate it. See you later. Bye-bye.